It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
How's it going? It is Sarah Foreheads and Diana Tyndall again today. Ethan is still gone. So thank you, Diana, for joining us. I'm so glad you are here.
You bet. Happy to fill in. Well, as Ethan would say, let's get to some news.
There you go.
Let me try it again
today.
Let's get to some news.
Right? I know, right? You need some baritone in your voice.
Yeah, which I don't have. So today is the day. Today is the day. It is the deadline to get registered to vote for the November election. So do that. The Secretary of State's office has been busy. Some 4 million Missourians are registered right now, an increase of about 200,000 from the midterm election in 2022. So you can register to vote online through the mail or by going in person to your county clerk's office today by 5 p.m., which is when their offices close. So
today's the day.
Hustle up. And with that, litigation is underway. Mail-in voting has been challenged already. Is that even a surprise? I just feel like from the last election, it's on everybody's radar, but many Republicans have filed suit for mailing in ballots, laying the groundwork for potential challenges to the election's outcome. Democrats are also waging legal fights as well to ensure all the votes are counted. So
it's interesting. I don't like the mail-in voting. We've already discussed this, but I mean, it was new with COVID, basically. I mean, not absentee. This is not absentee. This is mail-in voting. You literally know years in advance what day election day is.
Yeah, I remember your rant on it.
Make a plan to be there. You know what I mean? And I have a degree in poli-sci. Like, this is what you do. The judges know, the counters know, like, you're going to be there. This is how it works. This is how the system works to maintain integrity so that both sides feel good about the integrity of the system.
Exactly. And I think you hit on such a good point. I think both sides are like, we want a fair election.
Yeah.
We want it to be fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
That's what everybody wants.
That's part of the beauty of America.
Democracy, right?
Yeah, there you go. All right. Many Florida residents, the other big story, other than the election, of course.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with the election, by the way, because of the weather. In fact, before we move on, let me say this. A friend of mine just moved to Nashville, so she has to change her voter registration. She stood in line for hours yesterday to do that at the post office in her new city. Wow. But it was interesting because she said that some of the hurricane people were there saying, like, there's no way that we're going to be voting by November. And so we need to see what we can do to get a ballot, get a transfer, whatever that process would look like. They were there to stand in line, ask questions, get a form if they could. So isn't that interesting?
That is fascinating. I hadn't even thought about the impact of the hurricane with voting. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Because it's 5 states, 5 states. I mean, that's pretty significant, so anyway, okay. Well, from elections to hurricanes, a lot of Florida residents, specifically in Tampa, are under mandatory evacuation orders right now. State leaders were pulling no punches. They said, if you don't leave, you will not survive. So pretty strong words.
Yeah.
Hurricane Milton is on course to hit possibly overnight tonight. And it has bounced from a 5 to a 4. We'll see, that is kind of ever evolving, but utility crews from Springfield are there. Convoy of Hope is there, both staged right outside the hurricane zone to be able to move in as soon as they can.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a mess. I just had to cancel. I was going to go with some girlfriends and we were going to go to Asheville. And obviously that is just a mess out there. And, in your mind, you think, how fast can they get this turned around to where this doesn't mess up my plans? But then I'm like, oh my gosh, their whole world has just gone upside down. So yeah, just heartbreaking.
And at the same time, they need you because
I know.
That's right. Asheville is a pretty touristy area, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've not been to
Yeah,
Asheville,
because
but I
the
know.
Biltmore
Yeah.
is there, this
Yeah.
huge, beautiful mansion, but that flooded. I mean,
Yeah.
it's flooded. So
Uh,
they have a huge Chihuly exhibit I was looking forward to seeing. He's a
uh,
beautiful glass sculptor. If you haven't
yeah.
seen his stuff, it's amazing. But it's just heartbreaking
Yeah.
because it hurts their revenue. But at the same time, I feel like I would be in the way,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
couldn't get to places.
Yeah.
So who
Well,
knows?
it's a mess. And Missouri Task Force One, you know that they were there. They are still there. Typically, it's 2 weeks on and then they come home. But in this case, they say the damage on the Southeast coast is anything but typical. So crews are switching out if needed for rest. And then the other team members are continuing to do welfare checks in the homes of people who really were not prepared because
Mm,
typically the hurricane, the first one, does not hit this far inland, speaking of Asheville. So
yeah.
now they're going to relocate Missouri Task Force One to be able to respond in Florida after Hurricane Milton moves through.
Wow. Well, moving on to this, I think this is good news. If you live in the Springfield Public School District, the school bus service could be very well expanding. Right now, school buses pick up kids who live 1.5 miles from the school building they attend. It soon could change to only 1 mile for students to ride. This change would be in effect for next school year, and maybe cut down on the distances these kids have to walk or bike. We live
Yeah,
pretty close to my son's school and he rides the bus, but he has to cross over a pretty busy intersection. And I think that's why we get bus service.
right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. There's always, some caveats depending on the infrastructure, I guess, around the school.
well, and I feel like it's a little safer too. It allows kids to kind of have that safety and component,
For
from
sure.
not
Yeah.
having to
I feel
walk.
that way and I ride a bicycle. And like
Right.
sometimes I'm like, I would be safer in a car crossing, not on my bike. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
all right. Well, you are familiar with the Spirit Halloween store, right? You see those
Yeah.
pop up.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
like normally in empty retail spaces, you know. Anyway, and they're popular around Halloween time. And apparently it is working out for Halloween. So now they are going to venture into some other holidays. The owners are going to be opening what's called Spirit Christmas.
Ah,
So there you go.
from one
They're going
spirit
to
to
test
another.
the market to see if it works in 10 cities. Most of the stores will be in the Northeast to start with, and they will sell, Christmas apparel, decorations, stocking stuffers, very similar to a Spirit Halloween store, but a different spirit. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yeah,
Totally
I was
different
gonna say
spirit.
from one
Yeah.
spirit from one spirit to another,
There you go.
and,
Yeah. So we'll
yeah.
see if one comes to Springfield before too long. But again, they're going to test it elsewhere to see if it's successful first.
Right, sounds good. Okay, so I guess there's a contest, right?
There's a contest. We will end with
Drum
that. Our
roll.
contest is ongoing. We'll let you know who wins on Friday. But until then, go to aroundtheozarks.com and click on contest, and you will see the
Mhm.
Branson Bowl. And we are giving away tickets right now to the November 4th Chiefs game happening at Arrowhead versus Tampa Bay.
Awesome.
So if you want to go to that game live in person, you are going to need the keyword.
Oh, the keyword is trolleys.
There you
We
go.
said it yesterday, we're saying it
There
again
you go.
today.
That's the
Trolleys.
keyword this week, trolleys. You'll have to type that
Yep.
in to prove that you're watching ATO.
We should have,
So,
thrown it in the middle of our broadcast too, because I feel
yeah,
like throwing it in the middle, because people can just fast forward,
right. To
and
the
just
end.
the
Yeah,
keyword and not hear the rest of the news
it's
that's so
true.
important for them to
It
know.
is very important to know that there's another store coming to town, and
Right,
that bus service is being expanded.
exactly.
So yes, there you go. It's going to be a great game. And if you want free tickets, you need to play because somebody's going to win on Friday, and we
Mhm.
will let you know on Friday morning.
All right, well, good luck.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Diana. And we hope to see you back here tomorrow morning.
You're welcome and have a great day. Bye.
See ya.